This is ready. This is ready. Let's see else. Recording. Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Atlas podcast, where we interview passionate entrepreneurs who are pioneering industries of the future and are working to solve the world's most pressing problems, such as climate change, social disparities, and tech disruption, among others. So much gloom and doom in the media today about problems I just mentioned here, but there hasn't been that many channels that focus on the solutions, interview people who are doing the solutions there, and also how you can get involved. And that's why we started this podcast. So if you want to learn about how we can actually tackle all the problems in this world, along with inspiring and investable case studies, subscribe and follow us on all of our social media channels. I'm your humble host, Jed Gunther. And today I'm joined by Nattapak Atichartakarn of Trash Lucky, a Bangkok-based venture that incentivizes people to recycle by letting them exchange their recyclable items for lucky draw tickets to win prizes. Nat, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Jet?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on. Was that a proper introduction of Trash Lucky?
That is you nailed right on the head. So basically we figure, to get people to recycle, we need to give them incentives, right? And in Thailand, Thai people love this lucky draw thing. I'll give you like the first fact. It's like 20 million Thais spend 8.3 billion US dollar on buying lottery per year. So they crazy about, this lucky draw thing.
I'm smiling because that's so true. I saw your pitch deck and I literally laughed out loud at that statistic. It's crazy, but it really is true, man.
Yeah. So then we figure, what? If we can convert, like a low value plastic waste into something that can win big, right? For a lot of people, a chance of winning something big is a much bigger motivator of getting a certain something small. So how about this? Let's turn plastic waste into lucky draw tickets to win gold and shopping vouchers and see if people would do it, right? So far so good. It's been a year and a half and we have helped over 600 people recycle over 17 tons.
So far so good, huh? Okay. I laugh about the lottery incentive because I'm Thai and I live here and you're Thai. And that really shows that you really understand the Thai psyche. But for those that are not natives of Thailand, could you maybe expand on this lottery culture in Thailand? And has anyone else tried something like this before? Or is this really a new way of incentivizing, a new incentive system that you've developed here?
Okay, so I guess there are two questions there. I'll give you a little bit of background first about the Thais' love on lottery. So as I said on stats before, right? But if you live here, what you'll see is a lot of kind of like peddler might be a negative word, but basically sales, right? Like people selling the government lottery tickets. Like all over the city, like on the street. You literally can buy anywhere. It's actually pretty like good distribution channel. They have both like kind of small shops that sell it, and also like kind of sales agent, like the informal sales agent. Let's call them that basically goes around on either foot, on bicycle, and sell the lottery to anybody. If you actually look at the search, the search keyword on Google, you'll see like the Thai for lottery spike up every 2 weeks because the lottery draw happens every 16th and the 1st, something like that, twice a month. So
it also becomes like a trending hashtag on Twitter too all the time. I see it on the dashboard.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of background. As far as has anyone does this before? No one has turned trash into lucky draw. There are other kind of lottery kind of incentive that that is applied to something else. For example, the Taiwanese government, I think this was in 1960 or 1970s. I don't really quite remember the year, but anyway, they had a problem where small mom and pop shops did not pay taxes, right? So they figure, you know what, we're going to convert the receipt into lottery tickets. So what happens then is the consumer then would demand shops to issue them receipt, and then the consumer would then take the receipts, would have like lottery tickets and try to win something. So after the first year, again, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's something like the collection rate increased by 50%.
50. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I assume that was one of the case studies that you've used to as an inspiration for Trash Lucky, yeah?
I actually found that after I came up with the idea. The inspiration actually came from something else. The inspiration came from the city of Surabaya in Indonesia that allows people to convert the plastic bottles into bus fare. So I thought, you know what, that's a really cool idea to incentivize people to recycle, but it's limiting to city area where there are public transportation, where there are buses, right? What about rural areas where there are no buses? Then that solution wouldn't work. Then I kept on thinking, okay, what else can we turn these low plastic items into? And one day, I think it was right before the end of the year in 2018, I was just like, holy shit. Sorry, can I say shit on here? Well, anyway, I just say it twice.
Say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay. All right. So right before the end of the year 2018, I was like, oh my God, like Thai people love lottery. Why can't we change this into lucky draw tickets?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the beginning of the idea.
That's really cool. I mean, your project is going to be a really interesting case study in how to hack consumer behavior in a specific culture, and specifically Thailand. I remember almost every week or every month, my relatives, like anything at all, anything that is involved with numbers, like, you tripped 2 times this week, or you got 3 phone calls today or something. They always like try to interpret it into a lottery ticket that they want to go buy later on, or like a dream that they have, right? So I mean, it shows how ubiquitous lotteries are in Thai culture. And I feel like a lot of people, especially working class Thais, like they seriously allocate a portion of their income, their surplus, after their expenses, to lottery tickets, because it gives them that thrill of potentially that dream of winning something, right? So yeah, that's a really fascinating case study that for your project. So tell me about, so you've been up and going for about 1.5 years now, and so how has this been going on in terms of people responding to this lottery system?
So people have been responding good, right? So let me give a little bit of background first of how people can join, because I think we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
So basically, all that anyone who wants to participate have to do is first they need to sort the recyclable items at home, right? Like this is the goal. This is our mission. How do we incentivize people to segregate their waste right away at home, instead of leaving it in a mixed waste bin? And let me add another fact here. One of the things that is common amongst Southeastern Asia is that the recycling infrastructure, the formal one at least, is really not there. Like the city municipality only have one type of trash truck that comes in and picks up everything, right?
Yep.
Unlike Japan, US, Germany, for example, Taiwan, that have different type of trash truck coming in on a different day to collect different types of items, right? So because the lack of like a really good formal recycling infrastructure, people end up getting demotivated to sort their waste at home because they were like, well, I spent all this effort sorting, but then it goes into the same trash truck. So I don't see that it's gonna help in any way, right? Instead, these recyclable items then get mixed up in tons of other trash, like, I don't know, diapers, food, oil, whatever.
Hazardous waste
And
too. Yeah.
exactly. And then the informal worker, for example, the waste picker that pedal around on a tricycle that kind of buy and sell recyclables, or the city waste collector themselves, who, if they have enough time after having to take away the trash from your doorstep, they then go through the stuff to scavenge for recyclable materials that is valuable enough for them to sell for pennies. So that's basically that whole informal sector is the one who is like the backbone of recycling system here. But if you look at the efficiency, right, like that means the trash needs to travel from your waste bin at home, and it could take a detour all the way to landfill before it gets scavenged, and then get into the trading system, the buy and sell system through various traders until it reaches the recycling factory, right?
Yep.
So what we want to do is, like kind of streamline that and make it more efficient. Yep. Not that we want to cut out the informal waste collector. We want to work with them. We want them to be on board and help in terms of logistics as well. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, so what? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I know you want to continue with Trash Lucky, but this is actually a really good topic to talk about, focusing on the current situation and, let's say, the trash situation in Thailand and Southeast Asia, because I know Thailand is actually one of the biggest contributors to plastic waste in the ocean. Could you talk a little bit about the current landscape and in Thailand and Southeast Asia? How bad is it with the current, if you don't do anything with Trash Lucky? And then I guess you can introduce Trash Lucky as the solution to all these problems that you pinpoint here.
Okay, so globally, we're dumping 8 million tons of plastic waste into the oceans every year. Well, let's just start with Asia first. Asia contributes more than half of that. The number one country in the world who dumps plastic in the ocean is China. Number two to number 6 is all in Southeast Asia. Number 2 is Indonesia. Number 3 is Philippines. Then it's Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and then Thailand. So Thailand's always like been the 5th or the 6th ocean polluter in the world. And if we don't do anything, this is like a research by I think it's Ellen MacArthur Foundation. If we don't do anything in terms of behavior change, including the way we consume or reduce plastic consumption, by 2050 there will be more plastic waste by weight in the oceans than fish. Okay, so it's very alarming. So basically, you're probably, when your kids get to about like 40, 50-year-old, there will be, when he goes snorkeling or scuba diving, they'll probably see more plastic than fish in the ocean. Kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what people can do, if with Trash Lucky, is they can sort the recyclable items at home, and then they can send it to us in 3 ways. The first one is to basically pack and ship it through any courier service that they want. Second is to buy our recycling box bundle, which includes door-to-door shipping. So it's kind of like premium service. You don't want to find like a parcel box that you can pack and ship. We'll send one to you. You just fill it up with the recyclable items, and we'll pick it up right from your doorstep. And the third one is people can drop it off at our collection points. Then people will earn points based on the amount of recyclable they exchange. And then the points can be converted into lucky draw tickets So essentially, the more that you recycle, the bigger the chance that you win the lucky draw.
Okay, great. So could you talk to me about the results that you've seen so far? Have you done any tests in different areas between no trash lucky, and then this area with trash lucky, and the outcomes in terms of items recycled, or any success metrics that you've come across in the past year and a half?
So I think the best kind of benchmark is kind of like the quality, right? The quality of the materials. And so remember I mentioned about the kind of the supply chain of plastic traders, right? Like from once you waste bin. So our business model, and I'll get to that a little, answering your question in a bit. I just want to give you a little bit of background first. Our business model is this. So once we get all those recyclables, we aggregate it and then we sell it to that supply chain or directly to the recycling factories. And then we take part of the revenue and use it to fund the prices. So it's like a revenue sharing model. So basically, the more members, then the more trash we recycle, and the higher the prices that gets shared back to the people who recycle. Anyway, one of the benchmarks is that whenever we go to these plastic traders or recycling factories, we show the materials to them, and they're like, "Oh my God! Like, how do you get people to do this? Because I can basically just reuse this plastic bottles."
Really?
We don't recommend that, but yeah, but it's just so clean. I will supply you pictures later in case that you want to show it or edit it in. But yeah, so it's not like traditional way of doing things where you scavenge, dig through dirty pile of trash. Like in our warehouse where we aggregate all the things, like I can touch these materials and I don't feel dirty because it's really not trash. Like someone said it once. Name was Dr. Somtai, who's like own one of the biggest kind of junk shop, like formalized, kind of plastic trader or waste trader in Thailand. He say that there's actually no junk. It's actually material placed in the incorrect location, right? So if you take this material and place it in the right location, then it becomes like a raw material for turning into new products.
Okay. So yeah, I have a question about your lottery system here. So obviously you picked the system because you think it's a great incentive system for Thailand here. And from my understanding, it's your own raffle lottery system where the more proceeds you get from sales, the bigger the prize is, right? So it's sort of like have you compared this model with, let's say, instead of developing your own lottery scheme, they can exchange, you just basically sell them the government lottery ticket, the one that everyone wants. Do you know what I mean? Where they give a certain amount and it turns into this amount of cash and you exchange for the government lottery?
Yeah, we have looked into it, but we haven't done that yet because you basically need to become like a distributor of the government lottery tickets, because when you do that, people want to pick certain numbers, right? Basically, for example, the Thai lottery tickets runs the ticket number runs between 0 to 999, right? 999,999.
Yeah.
There you go. So then we would have to have like 1 million tickets on hand, in order to award people the number that people want. So it adds like a little bit more complexity, and we just say in the beginning, keep it simple, do it our own thing, right? Like we just assign people random numbers, and then we again draw from that pool of random numbers.
Now, if all those challenges aside, in a perfect world, do you think it would actually be more effective if you go with the government one? Because now people can, now you're tapping into like people picking numbers and the whole superstition, which is what the whole thrill of buying lotteries in the first place.
Yeah, like I agree. Like, hey, we want to partner with the government, right? Like how can we allow people to use trash lucky points and convert it or buy, like convert into the government lottery tickets that they want, right? How do we plug that in?
Okay, great. So, so far from what I heard is you collect this recyclable materials and then you resell it to traders. What I had in mind, what came to mind was um, there's probably the potential to sell this to other industries in the future, right? Like let's say, the fashion fabric industry or 3D printing or any of these. Could you talk about any future opportunities on how to reuse all of this waste?
Yeah. So definitely there's a lot of opportunity there in upcycling. So upcycling is like, turning these waste material into a higher value product, right? So for example, in October, we work with a bunch of partners like Less Plastic Thailand, Indorama, to convert these materials, the PET, which is a plastic plastic water bottle, convert those materials into PPE for healthcare worker.
Mm.
So yeah, like in October, what we did was we basically donate all the materials for this program.
Mm.
Our members still get to earn points and do the lucky draw. So we do a monthly lucky draw, by the way. So in that month lucky draw, people still earn points, get awards, and then we donate that material to make PPE. So that's one project in the past. There are other ones in the pipeline that we're talking to other potential partners. For example, turning the PET plastic, again, just the plastic water bottles, into glasses frame actually, and that will be donated to children, underprivileged children.
Okay. Wow, that sounds good. Just from my observations here, and correct me if I'm wrong, is um, I'm getting the impression that the more what's it called? The more high quality the materials you have, the higher price you'd be able to fetch for them. And especially if you sell it to industries that are actually reusing it again for probably high quality materials items in the future that they're going to turn around and sell in the future. So that means it's like a feeding loop where you actually make more money from your high quality materials that you gather. Is this sort of your revenue model here?
Yes, it is. It is a revenue model there in terms of um, selling the recyclables and then take part of the revenue to fund the prices.
Yep.
Now, in terms of, do you fetch higher price if you sell at a bigger volume? Yes, but there's a limit. It doesn't keep on going, infinitely. So for example, if you sell like 1 kilogram of plastic or plastic waste to like a kind of recycling peddler, the three-wheel kind of cyclist people, waste picker, you will fetch probably around like 3 to 4 baht per kilogram. But if you are able to aggregate and bale and pack into big shipment, like 6 tons, 7 tons, 8 tons, and you sell it directly to the recycling factory, then you can fetch as much as 10 to 13 baht per kilogram.
Okay. Yeah, no, what I was saying was so like you said 10 to 13 baht per kilogram if you send it to a recycling center. Now, would you be able to fetch a higher price if you sold it instead of a recycling factory, you sold it to like a manufacturing plant that it's gonna sell it, turn around and use it for commercial use. Do you know what I'm saying? So depending on the person who buys it, you might get a higher price.
So in terms of the process itself, you still cannot shortcut that, because the recycling factory are the one who basically process, let's say like a water bottle, into tiny pieces and eventually into polyester or recycled plastic pellets. You cannot skip that step. So you still have to go through them. And then that raw materials are then sold again to manufacturer, who turn it to carpet, luggages, clothing, whatever. Now, what you're talking about is maybe there are a brand that are willing to pay for that higher price.
Yeah.
Okay, so there could be that opportunity. But then that means that brand, what they usually do is they want transparency. They want to be able to trace that, we could call it like, socially responsible plastic, that, that material that they bought that is already raw material like polyester, they can trace it back through the system, and it's been collected ethically, right? There's not, it didn't go through like kind of child labor of, forcing child to scavenge like waste, for example.
Yeah.
There's it's fair trade, for example. So
right.
That would be kind of like what you were alluding to.
Okay, so with this, there could potentially be a social aspect to it too, where you're able to trace back to your process where you didn't use any child labor. It's all ethical practices too. So it's something that, okay, great. So tell me about the growth you've experienced.
Sure. So basically, after a year and a half of growing organically, we have about 600 members who recycle over 17 tons.
Wow.
We tried different segments, and for example, we do recycling program in deprived communities. We have people who are just living at a condo home, like you and I, like send material to us. We do office recycling program. We help restaurant recycle as well. And we also just launched a school recycling program. The same model where like kids can get excited about winning prizes, and they sort the waste at home and then drop it off at the school. What we usually hear is that when we do kind of first time customer interview, right? Like we try to call people and ask about their experience. A lot of them actually say, "Hey, we didn't recycle before, right? We didn't." It's not until Trash Lucky giving us kind of like an incentive to do so that we started to educate ourselves a little bit more about what are the different type of waste, how do you identify them, and how do you sort them, and B, like a reason to basically sort and try to make it fun. Basically, people say Trash Lucky makes recycling fun.
Okay. Elaborate on fun a little bit. So how have they found it to be fun?
So, for example, we have this girl,
Is female.
one of our members, is female. She's like we say an eco-conscious person, right? Like
of course.
Eco-warrior, eco-conscious. She's been segregating waste for many years at home, but she has had trouble convincing her parents, her grandparents, her loved ones at home to follow, right, and do so, because they would just come up with like a million reasons why it's not worthwhile to do so. But once they say, hey, if you do this, you may win gold, because that's the grand prize that we give away, actual gold bullion, right? A little bit Tong Ning Saling. I forgot how many gram it is, but it's worth about like 200 baht. 200 US dollar. So anyway, now she goes, hey, you can win gold if you sort waste and send it to Trash Lucky. And now it has become a family activity. Literally, like her grandma help her kind of step on the bottle to save space and crush it as an exercise. So it's become like a family activity.
Wow, man! So you sorting trash and you can get gold.
Yeah, exactly. Turning trash into the gold.
Turning trash into gold. That should be one of your slogans, if it isn't yet. Turning trash into gold. And that's interesting too, because you've been capturing like this very Thai behavior of this loving for lotteries, but also Thais love gold, right?
Yes.
Yeah, especially traditionally Thais, I would say maybe they would use a portion of their savings to buy the lottery, and then the other portion of it to buy gold. And when they win the lottery, maybe they'll buy some gold with it,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, tell me about some of the prize, what's it called? The prize announcement process and handing out the prizes and some stories to share there.
Sure. So when people come on board, one of the things they do is add us on the Line chat application. So we have like a Line official, and that's kind of like our app version. We don't have like a native app, but we run everything off of Line chat. So then we establish a connection. We know who they are. We can communicate about how many points they have earned. And then at the end of every month, right? So each month we do one lucky draw. So from the 1st to the 30th or the 31st of the month, depending on the month, you can basically send us as much recycle as you want, recyclables, and then you earn points and collect points until the end of the month. And then at the end of the month, we have a cutoff. And then we tally up all the points that all the members have earned. Then we issue the tickets according to how many points you've earned. So for example, 1 kilogram of plastic bottles earn you 10 points, and every 5 points earn you 1 lucky draw ticket. So essentially 1 kilogram plastic earn you 2 lucky draw tickets. So at the end of the month, we tally up all the points, and then we know how many lucky draw tickets we need to issue out to people who have recycled that month. Then we basically just generate random number and then pick it and then send it to them via Line. So Jet was get like, hey, hi Jet, you have earned 20 lucky draw tickets. Here are your lucky numbers. And then we would then hold a live lucky draw on our Facebook, where we basically randomly pick winning numbers from the smallest prize, which is the shopping vouchers, 200 baht shopping vouchers, and all the way to the grand prize, which is the $200 something worth of gold.
Man, you're capturing another Thai culture again. So like with the lottery, like the actual lottery, they have a whole show that everyone stops everything that they do, no matter what they're doing. If they're building a house, they stop building a house. If they're, they got to go watch the lottery thing, and they're like you literally see malls empty, and I'm like, why is it empty? Oh, it's lottery day,
Yeah, exactly.
So you have a live program where you go through this whole event too. So it's another fun activity for everyone to tune in every day. Man, you're really spot on with the culture here.
Well, we're try to make it fun for people to take action and be more environmentally friendly.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. So just to reiterate here, so you do your communication with the customers via the Line app, right? Line, for those who don't know, it's a chat messenger app that's popular in Thailand. So it's mostly Line?
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
great. So when you register, is there a website you register, or would you add the official line account?
You would add the official line account. The ID is @TrashLucky, all in one word, @TrashLucky. And then there will be buttons. There'll be buttons in there. Yeah. There'll be menu down there for you to register, for you to do anything. It's basically kind of like Line has like a platform that you can add like buttons. So it's kind of like a Shopify, inside like a chat app kind of thing.
Okay. Trash Lucky. So would you say this is your primary channel for getting new clients? Because I can put this in the description of the podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so your primary channel when you contact with clients is @Trash Lucky online.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you would, let's see, I'm going through this. So you have instructions and you've got this map of the area in Bangkok that you cover.
That's actually the free pickup campaign.
Oh, free pickup,
every first customer, yeah, every first time customer that lives in that green area will get free pickup during the first time.
Okay. So what's your current total coverage, and then maybe talk to us about your plans for expansion.
So right now, basically anyone from the country can send us recyclables. So right now the volume is about 45%, 55% Bangkok and 45% from non-Bangkok provinces. But that map is just like, kind of campaign we do to help first-time customer recycle. And that's only like, a small area, like central Bangkok. Mm-hmm. But in the future, yeah, we want to be able to expand across the country and also across Southeast Asia. I have, prior to this, I ran, I worked for other startups in logistics, and the latest one being a on-demand truck booking app. So it's like kind of like, Uber for trucks, let's just say. And I took the business from Thailand to Indonesia to Philippines, and then eventually helping it raise Series A funding before I left to do Trash Lucky. So I saw, a lot of similarities between these countries. And outside of Thailand, there's actually $8 billion US dollar lottery market as well. In Vietnam, in Philippines, for example, in Indonesia, although due to religion, they can't really do gambling, but this kind of lucky draw, raffle draw is okay. So, like I think Asians in general just love, lucky draw. So we see if we can make it work in Thailand, I'm pretty sure we can make it work elsewhere.
It'll probably work elsewhere too. That's great. Those countries that you mentioned, is there anyone in those countries doing something similar to Trash Lucky, or is it just very ripe for you to just go in?
No, there's no one who, I think we're the only one in the world that is doing Trash to Lucky Draw program.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Seems like the sky's the limit. So yeah, talking about growth, let's say you take away all reality aside, what would be a dream come true? What do you want to see happen?
What I want to see happen in like 30 to 5 years, in terms of Thailand alone, we want to have about 180,000 members recycling on a monthly basis. Because we have multiple segments, so far, like if we just average them out, usually our members recycle about, if we take weighted average of different, segments of our members, members recycle about 6 something kilogram per month. So, like what we want to do is we want to have 180,000 people recycling 5 kilograms per month. That will equate to about 900 tons per month recycled trash lucky. And with that kind of volume, we will be able to generate enough revenue and still be able to award million baht prize, right? So basically what we want to do is we want to say, you can become a millionaire just by recycling.
Whoops. Yeah.
I think if we can do that, we will be able to change the behavior of the country. Wow. Now we only be able to change the behavior of small group of people, right? Because like the grand prize is like $200, right? But what if it's like a million baht, which is what is that, like $30,000?
$30,000.
Yeah. What if it's a $30,000, right? Just by recycling. Wouldn't you do it? I would.
Of
right?
course.
You can become a millionaire.
I'd love to be a millionaire just by sorting trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where we want to be, and that's where we want to grow in terms of for Thailand, and of course we want to expand to other countries within that 3 to 5 years as well.
Wow, great. So your goal is to be able to give out million baht prizes, which is approximately 30,000 baht, and to do that, you'll need 900 tons of trash per month, and that would mean that entails 180,000 participants per month, each contributing 5 kilograms of trash per month. Is that did I hear that correctly from you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's your goal. Where are you right now in terms of participants per month?
Oh, we're very low. We still have ways away to get there. Right now, we only have about 600 members recycling.
600 participants.
Still, yeah.
But they do meet your goal. So they each average at around 6 kilograms a month, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that would be how many tons per month are you doing so far?
So you just do 600 times 5, right? So was that 3?
Yeah.
3 tons?
Okay. Something like that. Okay, great. Yeah, there's a lot, but man, you are going after a market, like you said, huge incentives for lotteries, and this region needs the most work in terms of recycling and sorting the trash. Yeah, so it's definitely a space that you can definitely come in and just totally grow in. So yeah, so that was your dream to give out a million baht prize. So to get there, what current either challenges or just things to do do you have currently, and how can others potentially help you solve them, whether an investor or someone who wants to get involved or anything?
So basically, what we need to do is make it more convenient for people to get the stuff to us. And what we want to do is be able to add drop-off locations for people. So like if anyone who listens to this have like a retail shops, like space, right, that can accept recyclables, like become our kind of a recycling
Hub or something?
Center, yeah, exactly, as our partner, or condos, right, like schools, right, we do school recycling program. Please reach out to us. Like, we would love to work with you and get your community members to recycle and sort more waste. That's the first thing. Second thing is we're looking for a sponsor to fund the recycling program, right? And you can fund like the prizes, for example, like if you want to create a positive change in the society, right? And then lastly, logistic partner. So, for example, if you already have fleets running, delivering goods, what about the backhaul, right? Like maybe we can pull the recyclables, you know, on the backhaul, like when you have an empty truck. Right? So those are 3 partners that we're looking for. Another things that we need to overcome is basic funding, right? Like right now, we've been in a year and a half so far. It's just me and one another co-founder doing things. So it's pretty difficult to do everything with 2-man team. We've had some interns coming in and out, right? Like, but mainly it's been like only 2 of us. So with enough funding, then we'll be able to grow the team, do other things that we need to do at a faster pace, and accelerate our learning in order to hit our goal of, you know, 180,000 members recycling and be able to make a millionaire of someone who just recycled.
Man, what a great goal. Make people millionaires and saving the world at the same time. Yeah. So if people want to reach out to you, what are some, or just learn about Trash Lucky in general, where can they find you and information about the project?
So the best place is still our line application. Just add us online. ID is @TrashLucky. Okay. Then you'll be able to see like the starter kit and, you know, more information about us. Or you can visit our Facebook at it's just Trash Lucky, Facebook Trash Lucky, or you can visit our website www.trashlucky.com, and you can email me, or you can email support. My email is just nat@trashlucky or support@trashlucky. You can do either of those channels.
Okay, great. I'm looking at the line again. It says it's in Thai, but then you say for program details in English, click here. So I just clicked that. Okay, so it links to a PDF that talks about the process, and then there's contact information in the last page.
Yep.
Okay, that's perfect. So I'll definitely link to your line handle after this. Anything else you'd like to add before we finish off here?
Well, I think, you know, change always happens with, you know, one person. It always has, you know, it always has been that way and always will be. So just because you think that I'm not going to make any difference by just sorting this one piece of plastic and recycling it or reducing my plastic consumption because I'm just one person, it's not true. You can make that difference, right? Like start with yourself, and then you can see that you'll influence your friends to do the same, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle is the only way out of these, you know, like waste pollution crisis that we're in.
Yeah, that's so true. And even if you send your trash in and you don't win anything, but by you sending it in, you contribute to the prize pool being bigger, which attracts even more people as you go. So you are making a difference, even though you're not winning a gold, you know, a gold bar yet. So
yes,
yeah, that's great. Nat, thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you all the best, man. This is I think it's a really important space that you've gone in, and it's, you know, like this region really needs improvements in sorting its trash situation because it's really, really killing the oceans, man. So we really appreciate what you're doing here and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Jet. Thank you for your time.
All right, and there you heard it from Nattapak Atichartakarn of Trash Lucky. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, if you made it this far, you probably did enjoy it. And so before we close, I want to talk about Atlas Capital and ways that you can invest in impact technologies, okay? So Atlas Capital is focused on both investing and in raising awareness of ventures like the one you just heard about on the show, who are making a positive impact towards the world. So at Atlas, we're building an investment club of angel impact investors based on our investment thesis, which is mainly to invest in industries that will make our future sustainable, high-tech, and climate resilient. So if you are interested, you can sign up to our Impact Angel Club. Just click in the link in the description and you'll receive updates on growth companies that are looking for investors. Now, keep in mind that by signing up, don't feel like you're now obligated to invest. It's also a great platform to network with other angel investors and just learn about the space in general. And if you feel like you want to invest in any companies, that's all up to you. So click on the link in the description to join the Angel Investors Club. And that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in.